In the symphony of life, we are surrounded by a cacophony of sounds, the relentless hum of cities, the chatter of voices, the incessant pings of notifications. Amidst this constant noise, silence is often misunderstood, seen as passivity, a void, and absence. But what if silence is not merely the lack of sound, but a deliberate choice, an act of rebellion against the societal norms that dictate our every waking moment? Silence is not passive, it is powerful. It is the quiet revolution that begins within. In a world that values constant noise and busyness, choosing silence is a countercultural act, a defiance against the expectation to always be on, always be engaged, always be producing. It is in silence that we find the space to confront our vulnerabilities, to connect with our inner world, and to cultivate self-awareness. Think of the last time you sat in complete silence. No distractions, no background noise, just you and your thoughts. It might have been uncomfortable at first, the silence almost deafening. But in that discomfort, there is growth. Silence forces us to confront ourselves, to acknowledge the thoughts and feelings we often drown out with noise. It is in these quiet moments that we begin to understand ourselves more deeply, to recognize our fears, our hopes, our dreams. This is the relationship between silence and self-awareness, a significant bond that can lead to profound personal growth. But silence is not just about looking inward, it is also about connecting outward. Listening in silence can deepen empathy, strengthening our connections with others. When we remove the noise, we create space to truly hear and understand those around us. We notice the subtle shifts in tone, the unspoken words, the silences that speak volumes. In a world that often shouts to be heard, silence is the gentle whisper that says, "I am here, I am listening, I am present." Stillness, a form of silence, is crucial for mindfulness. It is in stillness that we find the pause between stimulus and response, the space to react thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Mindfulness is not about emptying the mind, but about observing the thoughts that pass through it. It is about being present, fully engaged in the current moment. And it is in silence that we find this presence, this stillness, this mindfulness. Embracing silence requires inner strength. It is not easy to step away from the noise, to resist the urge to fill every moment with sound. But in choosing silence, we learn to surrender, to trust the process. We learn that it is okay to not always be in control, to not always have the answers. We learn to find comfort in the unknown, to find peace in the quiet. Silence is a powerful tool for cultivating creativity and inner growth. It is in the quiet that ideas germinate, that inspiration strikes, that innovation is born. The greatest artists, thinkers, and leaders have all understood the power of silence, the power to think, to reflect, to create. By choosing silence, we tap into our inner strength, we challenge societal norms, and we unlock our true potential. In a world that glorifies busyness, that equates noise with productivity, silence is the quiet rebel. It is the whisper that reminds us to slow down, to look inward, to listen, to be present. It is the key to a more fulfilling and mindful life. So, let us embrace silence. Let us find the courage to step away from the noise, to confront our vulnerabilities, to connect with our inner world. Let us listen, truly listen, to those around us. Let us find stillness, mindfulness, and presence. Let us surrender, trust the process, and find our inner strength. Let us cultivate creativity, inspire innovation, and unlock our true potential. Let us choose silence, not as an act of passivity, but as an act of rebellion, of self-awareness, of growth. Remember, the most powerful revolutions often begin quietly. They begin with a single act of defiance, a single choice to step away from the norm. They begin with silence. So, take a moment. Find a quiet space. Sit in silence. Listen. Reflect. Connect. Grow. For in silence, we find ourselves, and in finding ourselves, we find our power.